Welcome to the virtual career lounge session, helping you be a greater you. I'm your host, Darius Carlo. I'm a program coordinator for L.O.V.E Youth. The lounge is designed to help middle and high school students prepare for life after high school. We believe that failing to plan is planning to fail. I want to give a special shout out to EXL, the sponsor of Career Lounge. EXL is a leading data analytical, digital operations, and solutions company, and you can learn more about EXL at exlservice.com. Thanks to their sponsorship, we are able to bring this lounge to you at no cost. Just a little bit about L.O.V.E Youth. L.O.V.E Youth is a local 501c3 in Orlando, Florida, providing programs for youth. Our mission is to leverage the power of collaboration to uplift and empower youth and their families in the community. But before we kick off today's topic on entrepreneurship, I just want the panel to introduce themselves.
Thank you so much, Darius. Hi everyone. My name is Aditi Verma. I've been with EXL for about 9 years now. And I have an overall of about 20 years of industry experience. I am a BTech in IT, so I did my engineering, graduated back in 2005. I worked in a few IT companies like IBM, CSC, Tech Mahindra. I was an SAP consultant for a while, and then after that, I got my business degree. So I did my MBA in general management, and that is when I joined EXL. With EXL, I've been in multiple roles. I started my career within the operations consulting space. I was then a part of the digital transformation space, and I'm now into an account management role where I manage a few accounts for the life sciences vertical. And within the life sciences vertical, we do a lot of work for the audit risk advisory. We do a lot of data analytics, digital transformation work. It's been quite a journey with EXL, and I'm very happy to be a part of both EXL and a part of this opportunity as well. Thank you.
Hey, hi, this is Nabarun Sengupta. I have slightly more than 20 years of experience. Currently with EXL for 2.5 years. I spent most of my time in an IT major called Cognizant. I graduated in 2002 and did my post-graduation in strategic management. And then since then, I've started my journey with Cognizant, mostly into digital solutions. And my very recent role with EXL, I head the delivery as well as digital solutions leveraging AI, and it has been a splendid journey, mostly with life science and healthcare customers for last 2 years. And I look forward to this session. We can talk more as we progress. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good morning. My name is Rohit Kadevadikar. I'm currently I'm part of EXL of a consulting team from last 7 years. I'm a mechanical engineer. Basically, I joined EXL somewhere in 2018. I have total around 15 years of experience in IT audit, cybersecurity, and different domains of information security. I've been working here from last 7 years. A great journey so far. I've been part of multiple clients and domains, supported majorly on IT audits and cybersecurity risk advisory solutions to our clients. Happy to be part of this discussion, and we can discuss furthermore. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Talween Jolly. I've been with EXL from last 4 years now. I have a BTech in computer science, and after that I graduated with a master's degree in computer science from University of Waterloo, Canada. Post that, I joined EXL as a associate consultant, and now I serve as an assistant manager with EXL. Over the course of these 4 years, I have worked in the Canada geography, and now I've been working in the US geography. I work with clients in their process transformations, blueprinting, and end-to-end implementations. Work with clients in retail sector, finance sector. Happy to be here and seeing further for this discussion. Thank you.
So we're going to be discussing entrepreneurship today, but we're going to look at it from a couple of different angles. Our audience that we're talking to are teenagers, are in middle school, or looking at high school, or in high school. And one thing that I want to talk about so that they can understand is, what do you think the biggest differences are between having a job and then running your own business?
I think for me, one of the biggest differences, and I come from a place of having quite a few cousins in my family who are entrepreneurs and have their own practices. One of them has a very successful architecture firm. The other one has a very successful IT company of his own. And I'm one of the three cousins who are very close. But I think it takes a lot of strength and a very different kind of strength to be an entrepreneur, because just the kind of safety blanket that you get to a certain extent with having a job is missing, at least in the beginning when you start your own practice or your own project. And then I think the other very slight subtle difference I see is that for people who are entrepreneurs, they're very clear on what it is that they want to do in life, even when they actually set out to do it, right? Like they know where their passion lies, they know exactly where they want to get to, they have a roadmap that is sort of chalked out for them. Whereas if you enter a job, it gives you a lot more opportunities, a lot more just green space to play around with, sort of drawing a parallel to when I started my work. I started with a pure play tech field, but then I ended up being in account management and, on the business management side of it. So it's been a different kind of journey as opposed to what I see some of the entrepreneurs having, experienced. And I think for them, there is a lot of learning at a very fast scale, and it comes to you all at the same time, right? So not everybody is lucky enough to have that sort of capital where they can start big. Most entrepreneurs will start small. So you're doing a lot of roles all at once. You're probably your own HR shop, you're probably your own sales shop, you're your own technical guy. And the learning is massive. But, I think so are the returns if you actually end up making it big. I'll take a pause there, hand it over to Talveen and Barun.
No, I just want to make a quick point, right? And Aditi, you covered it well, and yeah, that's the key difference. But however, right, in this era of AI, the definition of entrepreneur is changing, right? You will see the entrepreneurs starting from these teenagers, Darius, right? This teenagers has started become the entrepreneur is just having the right passion, right? In fact, what I've observed, and I was reading through some of those posts in LinkedIn, right? You don't even need capital, right? And you will see people with very, very, very less working capital has started and selling their AI apps in multi-million dollars, right? So that's a fundamental shift from where the entrepreneurship or business mindset to tech generation mindset, where age, experience, everything is become little blurry, right? I know few of the people in 17 and 18 years of age, right, with probably half of the experience of me, but they are doing great in entrepreneurship, because I think the definition has changed and there are a lot of possibilities if you are innovative, if you have the right knowledge, if you have the right path, and if you have the passion for technology. Especially I'm talking about technology because that's where I come from. And if you are starting hard in terms of this, what are the new nuances that is happening in AI, right? So that's the traditional shift that I observe is happening. But rest is I echo what Aditi said, right? You need a different mindset. However, things are changing, and in today's world, entrepreneurship means more of an innovation. I see success to those who are more innovative in this space, and of course, an avid learner.
I was going to ask for the definition or a current definition of entrepreneurship, but I love the idea of building the two worlds together of technology and innovation, and then even passion. I do agree with you. There's some people that are watching right now that maybe have started their own business or are doing something in their middle school or high school, and they found where it is their niche maybe, and they're being successful. But I also love the idea of having the understanding, as Aditi mentioned, was it takes a lot of work to own your business. You are everything to the business. You don't have someone that's going to be your human resources. You don't have someone that's going to be your client support and this and that. So there's so many different things that we're looking at right now that I think is just so awesome. So we see benefits of starting your own business. But what would you say for teens that are maybe like, I'm not sure if I should do this, or maybe should I start a job? What are some of the benefits of having a stable job, a regular 9 to 5, let's say?
I'll say that there is perks of having a regular 9 to 5 job. Definitely financial stability is one. Second, the most important thing which I feel considering the entrepreneurship or a job is mentorship. In a entrepreneurship, you have to go out, you have to reach out to the right person for a mentorship, because everyone is busy in their own lives. But being in an organization, you get exposure to the right mentors within an organization in your jobs. So that kind of, if in the starting you are not sure about entrepreneurship, getting a 9 to 5 job, getting the right mentorship in the organization, and then step to that world of entrepreneurship where you can have a good risk tolerance, where you can communicate and do a better networking. So I think that's a two major points for someone who is still in the early stages of thinking which path to go on. And the third is, obviously, I'll say, in the organizations you get exposed to a large uh, I'll say processes. You'll get exposed to people at a high stake like VPs. You get direct stakeholder communication, which is really important, be it your job, be it your entrepreneurship. So job is definitely a good starting point if you want to learn these basic skills before getting into the world of entrepreneurship. Why I say that, me and my husband, we both, when we moved to US, we both started our own journey. I started my journey with EXL here in US, and my husband started his entrepreneurship. So we have, from last 1.5 years, we have been seeing the pros and cons of the both sides of the world. So I'll say that that's the main two different things for each world. Yeah.
I think out here again, there is a traditional shift, and I think entrepreneurship is more of a mindset.
Exactly.
Because it's a more of a mindset. Why I tell this is, I think, and we'll see lot more as we progress. In a job, there is no stability. Let's break that myth, right? So it has become a myth. There is no stability, and as you grow up the ladder, it is expected that you act as an entrepreneur with the portfolio of services that has been given to you, right? You cannot have a employee mindset. If you are, then your stability is not there. So I just want to conclude, the more we are moving into the high-tech areas, entrepreneurship is more of a mindset other than anything else.
Absolutely. I completely echo that, Navin. That's exactly what I was going to say too, that it is actually a mindset. Because if I draw a parallel to, let's say, for some people who would want to get into an account management role, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many accounts you have. It is literally like running your own company. You are responsible for driving the growth. You are responsible for maintaining the margins. You're responsible for the people who are assigned to that account and for their future, for their development. You're responsible for driving innovation, because ultimately all of these KPIs are going to be rooted to the goal form that you're given at the end of the year. You're going to be evaluated on all of those. The only difference is that here there could be somebody else doing that evaluation for you, and from the beginning, right? Whereas when you're an entrepreneur, you've got your own company, you're probably doing a self-evaluation at the end of the year. But when you go big and if you go public, it is again the public that is doing the evaluation. So
True.
like Navarun said, as you grow up the ladder, you have to have that entrepreneur mindset. You have to know that with every action and decision that you take, the buck stops at you. You cannot pass that responsibility, that accountability to somebody else down the line, because it is going to come back and fire back at you in ways that you don't want happening, right? So it is definitely a mindset. I think Nabarun has made a great point there.
Yes, no, this is great
And I think
information. Guys, Nabur said it really well, is that your job, even your 9 to 5, that there is no stability there. You make the decision. If you treat that job like it's your own business, it sets you up for success. Also, Talveen had mentioned that she's seen the best of both worlds, where you have you can look at the current position you're in, but then you can also network and find yourself that you set yourself up to maybe become an entrepreneur later on in life, because you've learned certain skills, you've learned, you've met certain people, so you've networked well. So it's something that is unbelievable. So remember, mindset, innovation, you're even in your current role, wherever you're at, or you're starting to look for a job, make sure that you are really honing in on where you see yourself, and then propel yourself into that. This is great conversation, guys. One thing that I would like to look at also is how, and I know we've mentioned this before, but how can you be entrepreneurship, and maybe some practical examples, be entrepreneurial in your day-to-day job, 9 to 5?
Yeah. I can take that. I think, again, coming from an account management perspective, when we design the goal form, one of the things that we put there is how many sales leads has one generated? How many people have you met? How many client relationships have you built? And particularly if you're from a consulting standpoint, then what we advise people is not to just go and make a hard sales pitch if you're not in the sales role, if you're in account management role. It has to begin with having a good relationship and winning the trust of the client, so that they see you as a partner that they can rely on, somebody who has their skin in the game. So I think that is an attribute that in my mind is very entrepreneurial, to be able to develop those leads, to be able to gain that trust, to be able to drive the right value for the client, right? One of the other things that we have to see is that when you're in an organization, you have access to a lot of resources. It could be a lot of policies, it could be a lot of people, it could be a lot of processes. You've got a plethora of, there's this repository that you can run to any time and look at for any and every kind of solution that you're in. Whereas if you're an entrepreneur, that is not something that is going to happen for you for day one, right? You have to develop that over your own experience. Even networking, being invited to conferences and all, is something that we put in a goal form for people who work. So, outside of bringing sales leads, or outside of trying to think of innovative ideas, thought leadership is another big thing that, we always encourage people to focus on. And it could be, maybe writing white papers, it could be doing joint conferences, but that is how ultimately you get to network people and build that relationship. Rohit, I wanted to check with you if you had some points to add to that, because I think you've been in this account management role also for a while now.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely from a people management perspective as well, how we are motivating our team members as well to come up with ideation. There are a lot of team members, a lot of team involved in their day-to-day tasks. How we are asking them to come up with creative solutions. So at the end, we are a consulting partners to our clients. It's not that we are performing just day-to-day activities. We are solving their problems, right? So for the problem solving things, we have to come up with new ideas. And in these days where the technology is changing every day, how we are coming up par with the technological changes which is happening in the industry. We need to come up with ideation, understanding what sort of solutions can our client can adopt to that. And obviously, I mean, as I mentioned, overall the teams who are involved in the account, how we are motivating them to come up with that ideas, collect it, and come up as a solution to the client.
No, that's awesome, because we're seeing and we've had some key words here. One is that entrepreneurs and those that work regular jobs should be innovative. We have to have the right mindset. I love the idea that mentorship, Talveen mentioned mentorship is so important because it leads to you expanding your knowledge. I think that Rohi and Aditi mentioned that as well, maybe not in exact words, but having mentors helps you so that you can discover and become a better you than you are right now. And then I think one of the greatest things, Aditi, I'm glad you mentioned this, and this is maybe hard for some to hear, is that no matter what you're doing, sales is involved. If you are an entrepreneur or you're working in a regular job, sales is involved in everything that you do. So building relationships is so important. Understanding how to build good rapport is also important. And then I think lastly, and this is just good advice that I've heard and I've witnessed in my life, is that don't burn a bridge. You never know when you're going to meet someone that you met 10 years ago, and just be careful on how you live. I know sometimes we're young and we're impetuous, but don't burn a bridge. I think that's something else as we look at it. And this has just been really, really good conversation around entrepreneurship. One last question before we go into one or two fun questions is, if you could tell your 14 or 15-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
I'll say follow your passion.
Follow your passion.
Follow your passion. If you are interested in doing that, you will succeed no matter what, and you will find that way to succeed in that. Whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's 9 to 5 job, whether it's any other career you want to follow. If your heart lies in that piece, you will succeed one day or another. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think believe in yourself and don't second guess yourself. I think one of the things that I do even today is, whenever I'm sort of debating something in my head, I'll go to 10 people that I trust and I will discuss the matter with them. I'll ask for their advice, but at the end of the day, I will do what I think is right and is best for me. And if I could go back and tell my 14-year-old self, that's exactly what I would say, that do what you think is best. Doesn't matter what the world tells you. Go seek advice. It's good to, draw in from other people's experience. But at the end of the day, you have got to do what you think is best for you.
Awesome. Rohit?
Yeah. I would say change is the only constant. Don't worry about changes. I think we need to keep up with the changes, and not taking a risk is the biggest risk again. Because we have to go with our what we are thinking. Not basically thinking about the risk. There are a lot of times we need to come up with our own judgment and just go with that. So yeah, I think these are the 2 points in my overall experience. I think I would like to adopt to.
Not taking a risk is taking a risk.
Yeah.
And you got to make that decision. This was awesome. Now, just real quick, one last question for each one of you is, what is your go-to comfort meal?
Comfort meal. I think mine would be Maggie and cold coffee.
Okay.
Mine is momos or Chinese food, like Indo-Chinese. Yeah. That's my go-to.
I hear that. Rohit, comfort meal?
I don't know a lot of, I don't know much cooking. I would say maybe, having an omelette and tea. Yeah.
Okay. And for me, is anything that is stewed. I love stewed food. So for me, that warm stewed food over rice is just whatever it is. Oh, it's so amazing for me. And then I just want to take this time, one, to say thank you. I think we've gotten a lot of good advice here. Guys, you guys that are watching, we've had, is Naburi still with us? Or
Yeah.
did
Yeah. I'm there.
I don't see you here. What is your
Why?
comfort food? I am so sorry.
I prefer boiled eggs. So I'm not that foodie, so boiled eggs works best for me.
Wow. Okay. What about tea or coffee, Naburi? Which one is your favorite?
I don't like tea or coffee.
Wow. I've been thrown off. So, but thank you guys for sharing. We've gotten really good advice throughout today. Keep your mindset right. Seek mentorship. Have a positive attitude. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Look out for some good mentorship. Be innovative. As we've heard even from the beginning, entrepreneurship is looking different every day because of AI and other things. And even in your 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old self, you can find yourself owning a business. Just remember that it takes work. It's not easy. And if you're looking at, well, where should I start? You find yourself at a job, do it like it's your own business. Run it with all your passion and all your heart. Again, I want to thank all the panel here for joining us today. Again, special shout out to EXL for sponsoring the Career Lounge. They are a leading data analytic and digital operations and solutions company. And you can learn more about EXL services at exlservice.com. Thanks to their sponsorship, we're able to provide this information to you at zero cost. We look forward to seeing you at the next Career Lounge sessions. And don't forget to smash the like button, click the notification button, like this video, share this video, and thank you for joining us.